The next few lessons will explore a technique for not only creating blend shapes, but also seamlessly mirroring your blend shapes over and then controlling them in an innovative and convenient way. We do have a kit that really delves into the process of setting up blend shapes and facial controls. So I'm not going to go too far into it as far as making the blend shape, but some slight differences that is, are we're going to be able to seamlessly mirror our blend shape over. And if you're familiar with making blend shapes, I think you're really going to love this process, as it's going to save a whole lot of time, potentially. And then we'll also look at a slightly different way from that kit of making facial shapes, which you may prefer, may not. So again, there's a couple of different methods you can use. So if you'd like to use another method, of course, check out that kit. But I'm going to use a way that I find works pretty well for myself as far as facial animation. And we're just going to be working on one control and a couple of blend shapes, and then from there you'll be able to get a concept for other controls that you can add to the face. And then at the end of this training, okay, we'll provide a file that has more facial controls, again, so you can get an idea as to some things you can use as far as that is concerned. So let's go ahead and work on that shape. We'll go ahead and unreference the character layer, and we want to select our face, we want to select our mustache, and we'll hit Control D to duplicate. Okay, just as we're the same process for making blend shapes, we can unlock our translate attributes just so we can make sure we unlock it for the face, even though it's unlocked for the mustache. Now, as we move it over, notice, hey, they're going in two different directions. Well, you may just need to go to your transform mode and switch it from local to world. Once that's done, we can now, or should now, be able to easily move over the face we'd like it to be. And as you move it over, if you run into the volume control we've made, you can easily turn that off from our center of gravity. Okay. Alright, so now that we have our face, we know that this is going to be a blend shape. So we can select that, we can give it a name, we can call it BLND shape. Okay, and just abbreviated underscore, since this is going to be our right smirk. We're going to be making one of those mustache smirks. Okay, that shift. So this is should be pretty funny. All right, then we go to right or type in R underscore. What the object is, that's the head, and what it's going to do, it's our smirk. 01. Okay, so now that we have our smirk in place, we can go ahead and also, or rather now that we have our name in place, that is, we can go ahead and paste that name on the mustache and give this a short name. We could call that mustache, or just abbreviated, and smirk. Hit enter. Great, nothing much to that. What I'd also like to do is go ahead and turn on wireframe on shaded just so we can see the verts we'll be influencing. And since we have two objects here that we'll be shaping, let's make another layer, and we'll add this mustache to that layer so we can just get it out of the way as we're shaping our face. We could even go ahead and just hide it if we like. So again, we're going to be making one of those smirks. So what we'll do is get started. So we can go ahead and select the center of the mouth with the soft mod tool. This is a tool I really enjoy using for blend shapes, as it allows us to get some really nice shapes fairly quickly. So we can go ahead and adjust its range to be about here. And then what's cool is we can also adjust the pivot of the soft mod tool going directly underneath our circumference range. Go into this little icon here. We'll just bring down the pivot just so we don't affect too much of the nose. Then we can select that again to, I need to select that again to go back to the activation of that. But if you, let's see, if you accidentally have got the circle in the way as what I've just done, you can always go ahead and apply that soft mod again. That's no problem. Okay, and the same spot again, changing the range, changing the switch, bringing that down, going back to the switch, and then adjusting the brush a little bit more as needed. Okay, so no problem with that. From here we can now work on bringing this mouth over. Again, it's going to be for the right side of the character's face, so let's go and work on bringing that over, maybe out a little bit more and rotating it. when making blend shapes, I do recommend to have some reference nearby, either photos or even a mirror. At times I'll have a mirror when making the shapes, just so we can get it looking natural. And we're not going to spend too much time on this shape, so being that that's the case, we again do have a kit that goes further into it, so if you like, you can go ahead and check that kit out. But again, just for time's sake, I'm not going to go too far into this. Alright, so we brought the face over, the mouth that is. You can go ahead and start bringing over the corner of the left side of the mouth. Okay, adjust its pivot. So we bring that down and over some more. Then going back to our switch and just shifting over the side of the mouth, bringing it out. Okay, nothing much to it. Alright, great. And then as far as the right side of the character's face, we can do something similar. We can, again, adjust our range, bring that down, activate the tool again, bring that over, possibly down a little bit more, and even possibly scaling it in the X slightly. Alright, as far as the mouth is concerned, we won't need to close the mouth for this blend shape because of that jaw. So what I like to do, if I can, is just go ahead and leave the mouth closed, model the general shape, and then if the mouth does need to be closed, use that jaw control. Okay. Now as far as the cheek goes, let's go back to our tool. We select our cheek. We're going to need to bring that out. So let's work on doing that. Again, we can just decrease the size. I also like to mention with the soft mount tool, you may run into a little issue where the soft mount tool stays behind, and if that ever happens to you, that's no problem at all. All you need to do is go ahead and delete history on your blend shape face. That will not affect, or should not affect, your actual face when you go to apply the blend shape. Now as far as freezing transforms, we definitely do not want to do that. So deleting history is fine, but not freezing your transformations. Alright, now what I'd like to do with the cheek out is go ahead and just add a little bit more of a crease. Okay, so we could select this vert right in the center there, go to our move tool, there we are, just move that in. Facial topology on your models is very important if you want to get a more natural looking facial expression, so please keep that in mind when modeling your shapes. Okay, but again, I'm not going to go too far into it. I think this shape would suffice as far as the face is concerned. If anything, if I were to do anything, I'd say we can take that cheek and probably bring it in a little bit more. I think it's too stand outish, so we could just go there, bring that in some more, and call it good. Alright, so there is our left smirk, and of course we need to work on that mustache. So we'll go ahead and unreference that and untemplate that, and we'll stop the lesson here. In the next lesson, we'll work on shaping that mustache and looking at a technique we can use to mirror this blend shape over seamlessly.